Is that Vodyanitsa's voice? What happened?
Coolish, wake up! Please wake up!
The situation is identical to that of the 2 casualties yesterday. We cannot ascertain the cause of death.
At least there are some elements that we can rule out this time. They slept on the stage with everyone else, so I suppose the surrounding environment can't be a relevant variable.
Rampana. Coolish.
Weren't some of us keeping watch last night? 3 of us, in fact. How could you not notice something was wrong?
I'm as confused as you are. Certainly nothing unusual happened on my watch.
Likewise, and from what I've observed so far, both Miss Odette and the Traveler can be trusted.
To be honest, I didn't get a wink of sleep last night. I couldn't help but think I was the target, so I just laid there with my eyes closed. I heard the Traveler and Lelik chatting, but otherwise I don't recall hearing any commotion during the night.
Me too. I didn't want to wake everyone up, so I was concentrating hard, trying not to cough. I hardly slept at all. If anything had happened, I'm sure I would have noticed. Then, what could possibly be causing this? Once was bad enough. I can't believe it happened again. I worked closely with Rampana and Coolish for so long. I never imagined that one day they'd... And on this stage of all places... Vodyanitsa...
4 victims in just 2 days, and we still don't have a single lead. I need to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible. And above all, keep Tonya safe. I'd never be able to look Child in the eye again otherwise.
Still snowing?
Yes, I just checked. Still no sign of anyone outside either.
So we only have ourselves to rely on.
If you ask me, this killer can clearly strike whenever they please. The Night Watch was a useless endeavor from the start. Lelik must be an expert in poisoning. Clearly she used some poison that can't be detected on the corpse.
Here we go again.
Listen, I was already thinking to myself last night, was Lelik's reason for revealing her identity the real story? Well, now I have my answer. It most certainly was not. She's been playing us for fools. You get off on this, don't you? Revealing your identity, only to carry on with your killing spree?
That's a hideous thought. One that only a hideous mind like yours could dream up.
How dare you?
That's enough! Yesterday, you named Lelik as a suspect because the victims were both wealthy merchants. Lelik might have had a motive then, but today's victims were just ordinary people. Not to mention that they were colleagues of Odette and mine. What reason would she have to murder them? Let me guess, just to scare you?
Who knows? Maybe you don't know her as well as you think. I implore you all to ask yourselves, how many people are there really in this world that have what it takes to kill another person? Not many, I'd wager. Lelik is well known to be a ruthless operator, and now she has revealed her identity. How could it be any more obvious?
Everything you said so far is still just conjecture, which doesn't constitute a concrete lead. You need to back up your claims with some evidence.
How can you defend her, officer? What did she say to you while you were on night watch? Maybe I shouldn't be so surprised. You military types are always colluding with criminals to target the rich. All so you can get your grubby paws on our hard-earned fortunes. Then tell us to fall in line. The Fatui, the Druzhna, and the Rokot. Thugs, the lot of you. Don't you dare!
Sir, but you were the one who told us not to stop other people from expressing their opinions yesterday. 4 people have already died. Only yesterday I was chatting with Mr. Coolish. Then we woke up in the morning and he's... Turning against one another is the last thing we should be doing right now.
Little girl.
Even if Mr. Chuganov is a puffed-up, pig-headed windbag who doesn't have a clue what he's talking about, he's still one of the victims here, isn't he?
Quite.
I had no intention of resorting to violence. But you're right, Miss Tonia. I ought not prevent him from speaking his mind. In any case, I believe Mr. Chuganov has calmed down a little now. We may resume our discussion.
I don't think there's any need for that. What is there to discuss? Nothing about this situation is normal.
Did you have an idea, Mitya? You're the brainiac here, right? Come on, clue us in!
I've been mulling something over. All the leads we have so far concern things from outside the theater. Miss Odette's alter ego, the threats Mr. Chuganov received. But then there's the 2 double murder crime scenes themselves, which have given us absolutely nothing to go on whatsoever. That's highly unusual. Even with the most careful killers, there's always some evidence left behind.
So what are you suggesting?
I think this could be a supernatural event. It isn't characteristic of human-on-human homicide at all.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you supposed to be a scientist? That doesn't sound like a conclusion someone like you is supposed to make.
I got into scientific research because of my insatiable curiosity. But if the present situation defies all known scientific explanations, I don't mind shifting my curiosity toward the paranormal instead.
Now that you mention it, I remember when I first came to the theater. I heard rumors about this place being haunted. Haunted?
Yeah, I think I heard the same thing. But I mean, they're only rumors, right? We've worked here for years. Surely we would have noticed any spooky goings-on by now.
Well, this has taken an unexpected turn. A haunted theater? If Paimon were here, she'd probably be hiding behind me in fear right now.
Why don't we take this opportunity to look for clues again with a more open mind? Maybe a different perspective will help us see something different.
Very well. Whether it's criminals or ghosts we're looking for, the same rules apply. Everyone needs to tread carefully. I'll move the bodies into the same room for now.
I need to think very hard about whether there's anything that ever needed hiding. After all these years, there must be some things even I've forgotten about.
Valeri, come take a look at this. You too, Traveler.
Some sort of notebook. What is it for?
It's the on-duty logbook for the theater. Coolish was the main person to use it. He mostly used it to record any unusual incidents during a show, audience numbers, exit times, and so on. Yes, he'd always have this logbook with him when he checked tickets at the entrance.
This should confirm a lot of key details about the recent show. So, you find anything unusual?
Yes. The number of people. I've checked and double-checked, but the numbers just don't match what's recorded in the logbook. Apparently, we have an extra person among us.
Are we certain that logbook is accurate? Could someone have sneaked in without buying a ticket or something?
Unlikely. Coolish took his duties very seriously. I've rarely seen any errors in his work. Not to mention that this was a dress rehearsal, meaning smaller audience numbers and tighter ticket restrictions than usual. Everything would have been well within his control.
We no longer have our tickets with us, do we? They got collected on entry. I assume there's no way we can check them again.
Unfortunately not. The theater recycles tickets. Once people are in the door, they don't tend to leave until the show ends, so we collect the tickets at the point of entry. Still, I'm inclined to believe that this discrepancy in the head count is significant somehow.
Did an extra person just materialize out of thin air?
Tonya, did you find anything?
Not yet. Still looking. So... Are we supposed to be looking for something paranormal? I think I'd prefer teaming up with you than looking around on my own.
This looks like somebody's notebook. Shall we read it together?
Well, it doesn't look scary or anything, so I guess it should be fine. Alright, let's read it together.
Huh. This has to be Vodianitsa's writing, surely.
Maybe it's a little rude for us to peek at this. I feel like I just read someone's secret diary by accident. It sounds like she's writing this for her parents, right? I don't understand. Why put this stuff in a notebook instead of mailing it in a letter?
Because her water imp parents belonged to the aristocracy, who were driven out of Snezhnaya by the Tsaritsa long ago. And now they live somewhere new, where the postman can't get to.
We're sorry!
It's fine. My fault for not storing it properly. I can't leave things lying around and expect them to get ignored when everyone's scouring the place for clues. Alright, give me my notebook back. I'll take over the investigation in this room.
Ah, Traveler. Since you're here, come take a look at this.
Alosha found it. We're both curious to hear your perspective. It appears to be an investigation report. And the focus of the investigation was the rumors of haunting we heard about earlier.
An investigation report, huh? Looks quite old. This person's name looks to be of Sumeru origin to me. Was the investigator from Sumeru?
The theater manager must have hired an investigator once specifically to look into this issue. But it doesn't look like anyone ever looked at the report.
Presumably, the manager wanted to know if the supposed haunting was dangerous, while also being fearful of word getting out in case it affected the theater's business. Anyway, the bottom line is, the haunting is actually real after all. It's caused by an obstruction in the ley lines. Is there any chance this is the key to finally making some progress with the murder cases?
Ley line problems are pretty unexceptional to me by this point. And while it certainly offers an explanation for the ghosts, it's hard to imagine what connection it could have to these two murder cases.
Some of the language that appears at the very end of the report caught my eye. Angel civilization, ley line renovation? My area of research doesn't touch on any of that, so it's completely outside of my wheelhouse. Huh? A piece of paper just fell out from the report. It landed right by your feet. How unnerving. It was tucked inside the report, so it must be a note left by the author. Death is near. Is that supposed to be what's going on here? With us, in the theater? But if so, how did the author foresee it? Could he predict the future somehow?
Maybe things are more complicated than we thought.
No, wait a second. If we take the report and the note at face value, they completely contradict one another. The report definitively concludes that the hauntings in the theater are harmless and cannot affect the real world. But the note seems to be warning of potential danger. The question is, what exactly does the note mean by death? The various ways we could interpret this keyword lead in completely different directions. Let's pause our analysis here for now. I think we need more information. If we take all this together, it's not impossible, is it? If anything, it's the natural conclusion.
Oh, I beg to differ. This sounds to me like a product of a researcher's vivid imagination. And perhaps it's because I'm still viewing this through the lens of a typical murder investigation. But still, I'm struggling to be persuaded by your theory.
Does it really sound that far-fetched? Alright, well, let's treat that as speculation for now. I do agree with what you've said, so let's go with your idea for now.
Good. Okay, now that we finally have some meaningful leads, I think it's time to reconvene. Let's get the others. So, that's about everything we've discovered so far. I'll share my theory first. Based on what we've learned from the logbook, I believe the extra person among us is most likely the killer. If the killer had simply bought a ticket, it would have greatly increased the risk of their identity being exposed. I expect he or she either hid in the theater ahead of time, or found a way to slip past the ticket inspection. They then blended in with the group and waited for an opportunity to strike.
What about the note found in the investigation report? Any thoughts on how that fits in?
The killer may have simply planted it there as some sort of sick joke. I've seen my fair share of psychopathic killers. They love playing cryptic mind games.
So, it has nothing to do with the haunting of the theater after all.
This theory makes sense to me. If we have an audience member unaccounted for, chances are they didn't come here to watch the show.
Could it really be that simple?
So, in other words, all we have to do is find out who got in here without a ticket, and all our problems will be solved? Then let me make one thing clear. All the theater staff should be well aware that I came here for the rehearsal legitimately, yes? There's no way I'm the one who didn't have a ticket.
It's true. I hear you used every trick in the book to get a hold of that ticket, too. Everything short of throwing a temper tantrum and rolling around on the floor at the entrance.
I most certainly did not degrade myself in such a way.
Probably a stupid question, but might as well ask. Did anyone here get in without having their ticket checked? Guess it was naive of me to expect them to just admit to it.
Especially after the unprompted Lelik reveal. Once was already a miracle. Twice would be unfathomable.
As things stand, the audience head count doesn't add up. I guess we can rule out the theater staff members. As things stand, Valeri came to the theater to catch Mitya. Those two should be able to vouch for one another, and their motives are clear. Valeri came to the theater to catch Mitya. As things stand, the audience head count doesn't add up. I don't believe any of us here knew Shram before all this. If no one can verify Shram's identity...